Hello. First of all, I want to thank Trafó House and Body for inviting us. It's really exciting to be in Budapest. It's the first time for me, at least. And today, it's going to be not a performance as such, but it's going to be a mixture of our research material and our own works and just different quotes with source and without source, and basically it's how we all perceive the information today. So yeah, we can start. Street level. Medium shot frames a busy stretch of a city sidewalk in front of contemporary shop windows, where passers-by walk briskly, alone and in groups, chatting, making phone calls, carrying shopping bags. Someone pauses outside a shop below a large window sign, sneakers. Behind the wide glass pane, single training shoes, each displayed on an individual shelf, are arranged like jewels. Electric blue, salmon pink, warm gray, cool gray, fluorescent orange, and maroon details float on a tide of white leather. The shopper's eyes roam over the display. Reflections of the cobbled European street and passers-by shimmer on the glass, melting shoes and scenery. A green park is visible in the far background. Suddenly, the runner appears in the glass, darting among cars and people, and then disappears again, absorbed by the street. The window shopper pulls away from the window, moves on. Biological body today is in a paradoxical situation. It is in the paradigm of the metaphysics of the runner. On the one hand, it is under constant pressure to upgrade oneself in form of active sports, chemical supplements, and technological prostheses. But even these fit bodies still don't shine with efficiency. They get distracted by their gut bacteria, distracted by a hot colleague at work, by a new meme on the Facebook feed. They eventually get tired, get bored, they fall asleep at the wheel, asleep at the keyboard, asleep when some other body is demanding sex. They age, fall apart, shrink, or swell. They make any attempt to preserve the youth into a horrifying joke. So now we have this other hand, and it seems that the body is already condemned to give way for a more efficient silicone version of the body. In any case, we speak no longer of a simple human, but post-human or prosthetic human body. But French philosopher Bernard Stiegler employs the myth of Prometheus and his forgetful brother Epimetheus, who left humanity without any positive trait, to claim that through the technology which Prometheus granted to humanity, which is fire, this bold, toothless creature became human, a prosthetic, technological creature par excellence. He claims that a human has never been an autonomous being, but always already prosthetic, dependent on an externalized material aid. The who is nothing without the what, claims the philosopher, since they are in transductive relation during the process of exteriorization that characterizes life. It has never been about simple dualism of a discrete mind and body, but always about an accomplished mixture of the three: body, mind, and external techniques. But what happens when prosthesis overruns the one whom it supports, and overruns faster than the speed of light? High-frequency trading is one of such examples. The fully automated ultra-fast trading shares larger and larger part of the whole trading market. It is a domain in which humans write algorithms, and algorithms augment and diminish human capabilities, replace humans, and even confound their plans. When efficiency becomes the main criteria, the overrunning in this human algorithm relation is quite obvious. For example, it takes about 200 milliseconds for a human to react to visual stimuli, and less than 1 millisecond for an algorithmic trading system to do so. According to one interviewee of the sociology professor Donald Mackenzie, if you're sending market data to a human, you have to slow it down. because otherwise it becomes an uninterpretable blur on screen. You can't see it. Our ears, in fact, are capable of processing information much faster than our eyes. The founder of Nanex, the financial data technology research group, Eric Hunsader, programmed a digital keyboard to strike a musical note every time the stock was bought or sold on a high-frequency trading market. Now we can hear high-frequency trading, albeit slowed down considerably. A sound piece of capitalism composed by the invisible hand. And this is how it would sound if it was not slowed down for us to comprehend. Quite fast. High-frequency trading is not entirely virtual, however, quite the opposite. Its materiality is widely discussed and felt. But here we will speak only of two levels of such materiality. The hardware and basic physics, such as time, space, and the speed of light, and another form of materiality that evolves in digital realm, the digital materiality and ecology of algorithms. Let's start from hardware. Donald Mackenzie claims that a price is not an abstraction. To be conveyed from one human being to another, or from one automated system to another, a price must take a material form, whether that be sound waves created by speech, the electrical signals of the telegraph or telephone, or the optical signals that now flow through high-speed networks. High-frequency trading is based on incredibly fast computer architecture and state-of-art software. And this mashup of hardware and software is directly related to physics, such as distance and the speed of light. In a sense, the pace of signal traveling in the speed of light through a certain distance, via cables from which a server of the training algorithms are running to the matching engine. The matching engine is a software algorithm, and it's the core of exchange's trading system, continuously matching buy and sell orders, a function previously performed by a human specialist on the trading floor. But even they were obviously too slow. The matching engine resides in exchange computers and is the primary reason why high-frequency trading tried to be in as close proximity to exchange service as they possibly can. To be able to receive the prices and other data as early as possible and have their new orders and cancellations reach the matching engines as quickly as possible, high-frequency trading firms rent space for their computers in the same building as exchanges or other trading venues' engines. Therefore, while it is tempting to believe that globalized financial markets have brought about the end of geography, high-frequency trading gives the obdurate physical reality of space a renewed prominence, and the physical constraint, the speed of light, is of growing importance. High-frequency trading firms try to beat the obstacle brought by distance through a strategy, and the strategy is called co-location. Co-location, as this is called, is an expensive and important revenue source for trading venues. The rent for just one rack, a cabinet, usually around 2 meters high, that can hold multiple servers, can be as much as $10,000 per month. So now, for example, the data center in New Jersey, where high-frequency trading is taking place, takes up 8 times more space than the old New York Stock Exchange. The virtual capitalism is tied up with the material more than ever. Yet algorithms don't only depend or try to defeat materiality, they also actively shape the real. Because Chicago is the traditional primary site of derivatives trading, and New York of share trading, the fiber optic links between Illinois and New York, northern New Jersey, are the US system's spinal cord. Until August 2010, the best one-way transmission time available on those links was around 8 milliseconds. However, high-frequency trader Daniel Spivey persuaded venture capitalist James Barksdale to fund creation of a new cable, which, unlike the old routes, which largely follow railway lines, is as direct as possible, as we can see here. The project, conducted largely in secret, cost around $300 million, and to speed up construction, 125 teams worked in parallel. In places, even created what are essentially little tunnels through the rock of Allegheny Mountains. The resultant link runs from downtown Chicago to New York and to the site of the southernmost of New Jersey, matching engines, Carteret. This way, the material characteristics of the real are constantly being challenged and transformed. The materiality becomes both the obstacle for expansion of economic powers and the vehicle for them to move on. Another form of materiality that transports itself to another level of the real is digital materiality, and what is called the ecology of algorithms. American sociologist Andrew Abbott offers a useful description of ecology. An ecology, in Abbott's sense, is a domain best understood in terms of interactions between multiple elements that are neither fully constrained nor fully independent. In an ecology, the elements constrain or contest each other, rather than behaving in an entirely atomistic way, or the behavior being fully determined by a social structure or technical system. That is a good characterization of high-frequency trading as a technical sphere. Its elements, meaning algorithms, interact directly and indirectly with each other, rather than acting in isolation or being parts of a unified technical system. In the words of theorists Indigo Wilkins and Bogdan Dragos, the universe of computer algorithms is best understood as a complex ecology of highly specialized, highly diverse, and strongly interacting agents. From an ecological perspective, one can distinguish between various trading and execution algorithms, but also predatory relationships. The theorists ascribe the behavior and character of distinct algorithms to the idea of species. Certain species try to efficiently execute a trade so as to achieve minimal market impact. They split large orders into smaller packs and execute them at a certain time intervals. Moreover, new ecological niches have emerged in order to obfuscate the execution of large orders, known as dark pools. There are other types who try to profit from identifying and anticipating such trades, and these algorithms sometimes are referred to as predatory. Such strategies of camouflage, mimesis, and deception are endemic in predatory-prey relationships, fueling a runaway propagation of non-adaptive mutations, according to the non-equilibrium dynamics of the Red Queen effect. In his discussion of the pathological tendencies of technological capitalism, Ray Brazier cites Roger Collat's investigation on thanatropic mimicry, pointing out that such effects are irreducible to equilibrium models of dialectical resolution and may often terminate in non-dialectical self-destruction. In mimicking their own food, Brazier writes, leaf insects, such as Phyllium, frequently end up devouring each other. In other words, they camouflage so well that they eat each other out. But what if we give bodies, not merely names, to these virtual species? What would such a digital embodiment require? Or to push even further, how a combination of digital programming, design, and physical biological body, be it of microorganism or of human, would look like? Synthetic biology claims to be able to create life from scratch, by combining bioengineering, programming, and design. They aim at rewiring nature in order to make it even more efficient. For example, to grow microchips on pine trees, as it's their biggest dream. Such claim immediately challenges the established notions between natural and artificial, between given and man-made. It could be said that synthetic biology commits the Promethean sin. It destroys the equilibrium between what is given and what is created. In the recent years, the Promethean project was further developed and even radicalized by philosopher Ray Brazier. In his public talks and written text, he proposes Prometheanism as a real possibility and even necessity to finally overcome the notion of the equilibrium between natural and artificial. According to the philosopher, the sin of Prometheanism then consists in destroying the equilibrium between the made and the given, between what human beings generate through their own resources, both cognitive and practical, and the way the world is, whether characterized cosmologically, biologically, or historically. Prometheus thus takes over the role of creating rather than simply accepting. He seeks to transcend natural limitations, such as disease and finitude, and instead of receiving things are, he pushes towards how things ought to be. Or to use a phrase from another quite Promethean but feminist project, Xenofeminist Manifesto, if nature is unjust, change nature. It is a chance to restart your developmental process, enthusiastically asserts a synthetic biologist in his 15-minute TEDx stand-up. A chance to create tailored man, subject with perfect knees, one could add. But how can we avoid the perfect knee scenario? Who is to decide what is perfect and what needs to be altered and towards what? How to unbound the possibilities opened up by synthetic biology from the geeky desires of Silicon Valley? The Promethean nature of synthetic biology requires stronger responsibility and engagement, rather than relying solely on its ability to reveal the potentials of the design being. Promethean project needs not only to scale up artificialization, to trespass the non-existent equilibrium between natural and artificial, but to most importantly, it needs to be socially constructed. The social here encompasses both human and non-human actors, knowledges and sensibilities, from octopuses and bacteria to non-organic algorithms and silicon bodies. It is a project that needs a constant revision, and a project that cannot have a final endpoint. And for that, it requires an interdisciplinary approach and collaboration. One cannot simply delegate technology to solve complex issues and construct our future. Humanities are no less important here than hard science studies, anthropology than artificial intelligence, science fiction than synthetic biology. Thank you.